Coming to you from the Hudson Media Group studio, this is Talking Politics. And I'm New Jersey's premier and now 10-time award-winning journalist. Top Latino was voted on by the Latino Spirit online magazine, along with the United States Latino Affairs Initiative, and certainly I'll continue to be the weapon of mass disruption in Garden State media, because my level of honesty, now more than ever, is truly necessary in this era of journalistic deception. That's right, folks. It's me, the generational talent in New Jersey journalism, and of course, the future of media here in the Garden State, because you can't spell future without the letters FU, and of course, guess what? You can't spell Fernando Uribe either. That's right, folks. It's yours truly here. Hope you have a wonderful October. We do continue with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Shout out to also honoring Domestic Violence Awareness Month, as both are still serious problems in these United States. So obviously we'll continue raising awareness on this program each and every week. Hope you're all doing well. As always, there's a lot to discuss, so let's get started. Here's what I'm thinking about right now. And a shout out to John R. Highness, the editor of the Hudson County View, fellow Rutgers alumnus, and a member of the Pinnacle here in Hudson County, for his reporting on this story, where it seems that Hudson County executive, and of course also the current chairman of the Hudson County Democrat Party here, Mr. Craig Guy, made an announcement this week on the heels of National Coming Out Day. He was excited to announce the creation of a Hudson County LGBTQ plus task force. And he's proud to say that Hudson County is one of the most inclusive, diverse, and welcoming communities in the United States, in a statement he prepared early in the week. Now, Hudson County is seeking 15 members for the first ever LGBTQ plus task force, which will have the aim of eliminating discrimination, promoting acceptance, as well as advocating for the increased dignity and visibility of the LGBTQ plus community in Hudson County. The county executive and Democrat chair went on to say, quote, "We are home to the largest LGBTQ plus community in New Jersey. We are fortunate to be the home of organizations leading the political fight and providing social services for the queer community. I look forward to the task force efforts so Hudson County can more effectively address the diverse concern of its LGBTQ plus communities and better foster an inclusive, safe, and equitable environment for individuals of all sexual orientations and gender identities." Once again, the LGBTQ plus task force will be comprised of 15 members who have a strong understanding of LGBTQ plus issues and a passion for making Hudson County more inclusive, and will meet once in each quarter of the year. The task force will be chosen by officials across Hudson County government, and local residents are encouraged to apply. Hudson County employees, elected officials, and appointed officials will not be considered for positions on the task force. Residents can apply, obviously, by looking at the article on the Hudson County View website, as applications will remain open until Tuesday, November the 12th. Well, folks, let me say this. As someone who has many friends in the LGBTQ community, I understand the importance of a task force like this. Certainly, I'm someone that, contrary to popular opinion, does believe in equality and inclusivity, but I also, do object when it's being shoved down our throats. And we do see that every year, right? During June, during Pride Month, and more so, right? It is October, and apparently I was notified that October is LGBTQ plus History Month. Now, why there needs to be a separate month from June, I don't know. But folks, this is what happens. And this is where conservatives like myself and many independents, because I also consider myself to be an independent, I'm not affiliated with any political party, tends to object to a lot of these semantics when it comes to this community. Now, oftentimes, I think, just to be a little polarizing, sure, I refer to them as the alphabet mob, and sometimes they can be when it comes to their tactics. And basically, if you don't acquiesce to them, well, there come consequences. You can be canceled, you can be vilified, both on social media and in the workplace. And let's be honest, that just isn't proper. But let me just continue on about why I seem to object to a lot of what the alphabet mob does on a yearly basis. Now, again, this task force seems like a good idea by the county executive. I would argue that with everything going on in Hudson County, where, obviously crime is still an issue in many of its cities and municipalities, quality of life is still something that it resonates for everybody and is really on everyone's mind in Hudson County, as well as the concerns about overdevelopment, maybe parking, no offense, but I don't think this is really high on the priority list as far as I'm concerned. Now, again, the county executive is free to do what he wants, and he can certainly appoint a task force to address issues that, I guess, affect the LGBTQ community. But, folks, let's be very honest. Here in New Jersey, what is there to complain about? And I'm not saying that to be insensitive or unwelcoming, but that's the truth. What exactly in New Jersey doesn't make for an inclusive or, I don't know, welcoming environment for this community, right? It kind of makes you wonder, like, is it overkill? Maybe. Is it something that, like, well, do we need this sort of just shoved down our throats? Not really, and I can tell you, I speak for many New Jerseyans. Again, and this does not make me a homophobe. It doesn't make me a transphobe. It just makes me a regular, everyday person that looks at priorities. And to be honest with you, in today's political, social, and economic climate, this isn't high on my priority list. Again, doesn't make me, someone who's, I don't know, lacking empathy or bigoted or someone who, I don't know, maybe isn't tolerant. No, actually, all the contrary. I'm just being a pragmatist. But one of the things that upsets me about creations of task force like this is also it's a constant reminder about how this community is constantly coddled. You don't believe me? Let's check out some of the calendar days that are dedicated to the LGBTQ community in New Jersey. So, now again, these aren't official holidays, but, ladies and gentlemen, there's over 145 days on the calendar celebrating the LGBTQ community. Do we really need 145 days? So it starts in February, between February 19th to the 25th. We have Aromantic Spectrum Awareness Week. What in God's name is that? I mean, if someone can explain to me, I'd love to see it. Now, March 21st to the 25th is LGBT. Folks, check this one out. This is a word salad that you'll never believe. The LGBTQIA plus Health Awareness Week. Doesn't Pride Month accomplish that already? Okay. Then March 31st, we have Transgender Day of Visibility. Okay, fine. Then April 6th is International Asexuality Day. Okay, so we have to basically honor people that aren't sexual and don't want to have intercourse? Really? Do we need a day for that? Do you see what I'm saying, folks? Like, this is how silly it's getting. Let me continue. April 13th is International Day of Pink, which is the day opposing homophobia. I mean, folks, isn't that what Pride Month's all about? I mean, really? Like, we need a separate day, an International Day of Pink? Okay. April 14th is Day of Silence. What are we being silent about? Okay. April 26th is Lesbian Visibility Day. Do we really need a day? I mean, we see lesbians every single day. Do we need to sort of remind people? Yes. We need to make sure that lesbians are visible. They're visible walking down the street. I mean, I don't get this. May 17th of all days, my birthday, for God's sakes. International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. I mean, Jesus Christ. Isn't that what Pride Month's all about? Again, overkill. Then May 19th is Agender Pride Day. Again, folks, I'd have to Google to see what that is. May 22nd, okay, Harvey Milk Day. I get it. Former candidate that was unjustly murdered out in San Francisco. One of the first candidates to ever openly announce that he was out of the closet, and unfortunately, he was murdered for that. And that was wrong, and certainly a tragic day for sure for his family. And I think honoring him is not a bad thing, I would say. May 25th is Pansexual and Panromantic Awareness Day. What in God's name? Really? And then we have the entire month of June, which is Pride Month. Folks, we see Pride flag raisings, we see festivals, we see parades. Really? A lot of what we just accomplished from February to May is done in June, but we need a whole 30 days of it. Then June 23rd is Stonewall Day. All right, I get why that's important. Then we have June 28th. Here's another one, folks. International LGBTQ Plus Day. Folks, but that's already in June already. And then July 14th, we have International Non-Binary People Day. Again, okay. And then July 16th, we have International Drag Day, which I'm sure in many communities, they take advantage and make sure to have drag queen story times at our local schools and libraries. Don't believe me? Go on YouTube. It's easy to find. And then September 16th to the 23rd, we have Bisexual Awareness Week. Okay. Is it great to see bisexual women? Sure. I love running into them at bars and clubs. Why we need a whole week to be aware that bisexual people exist, I don't know. And then the 23rd is not just, we have the whole week, but then it's Celebrate Bisexuality Day. You're having a whole week of it. You have to conclude it with that. Then the entire month of October, folks, is LGBT History Month. That's what Pride Month is for. But again, overkill, if you ask me. Then, here's a good one. October 8th is International Lesbian Day. Didn't we just have, hold on, let me look at the list again. April 26th, we have Lesbian Visibility Day. Is that just limited to the United States or internationally? Like, really? Again, folks, overkill. Then October 11th is National Coming Out Day. Okay, if you have to come out of the closet, all right, great, that's your day. October 17th to the 24th, Gender Fluid Visibility Week. Again, folks, this is just nonsense. Then we go October 19th to International Pronoun Day. Who cares? Folks, you want to know a really good, and I've been reading about this. I believe in the next Apple operating system. I believe that Apple is going to allow you to basically, I guess, learn, right, through your contact list who's mentally ill because they're going to make pronouns available. Folks, this is nonsense. Manipulating and hijacking language and grammar and linguistics to further identity nonsense is exactly that, nonsense. Case in point, okay? Many of you have watched The Matrix. Many of you have watched X-Men. You ever remember that guy, Agent Smith in The Matrix, and the one mutant joining Magneto in X-Men 3, The Last Stand, that could copy himself and make multiple versions of himself? Okay, guess what? That makes them plural. But when someone who's singular decides to identify as they, them, what exactly is they, them about you? What exactly makes you plural? Okay, unless you found a way to duplicate yourself and clone yourself, and there's an army of yourself marching on, alongside you, what exactly is they, them? Do you see what I'm saying, folks? And again, I'm an academic, so I take this sort of nonsense seriously, and this is why I get deeply offended. The idea that you feel it's okay to manipulate and hijack grammar, linguistics, and language is disgusting. I'll die on that hill and I'll plant that flag. It's completely unnecessary, but again, it only furthers the identity nonsense that we're living in right now. Let me continue. Then October 19th is Spirit Day, support for LGBTQ plus youth. We already have that in June. We have 30 days of it. We need another day in October? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Oh, here's another one. So again, we had asexual, hold on, I think I saw this here. Yes, I think it was, yes, April 6th is International Asexuality Day, right? So, okay. So you're just telling people you're not interested in having intercourse. All right, cool. But then in October, from October 23rd to October 29th, there's Asexual Awareness Week. What do we need a week to celebrate that you don't like having sex? That you're not a sexual creature? Really? Keep that to yourself. If you don't like having sex, I mean, my condolences to you. It's a great activity. But do you need a whole week to acknowledge this? Really? My God. Let's go to October 26th, Intersex Awareness Day. What are we intersecting? What? Here's a good one. Then the entire month of November, again, we just only had October as LGBTQ History Month, and then June was Pride Month, but now the entire month of November, another 30 days, is Trans Awareness Month. Folks, can someone explain to me? Okay, now listen, I get it, live and let live, but it doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and sort of look at your life choices and think you're normal. Again, folks, there's a certain element of mental illness here that we're talking about when it comes to transgendered people, okay? And what's interesting is I know a lot of transgender people that are very religious. So whenever I hear, well, I'm a product of God, right? We hear these terms all the time, right? Well, I am as God made me. Okay, well, if you are as God made you, then stay that way. So don't invoke religion if you're doing that. And I know a lot of my friends that do that all the time. I'm like, that drives me crazy. I'm not saying I'm the most fanatical Christian out there, but if you're going to believe in I am who God made me, well, stick to that. I mean, come on now. It's a little, hypocritical here. But again, folks, to be serious, really, and what have we seen with the trans community? Suffocating us with this agenda in our sports, right? Where grown men feel that they have to compete with biological women. Have we seen how unfair that is? Have we seen Leah Thomas out there in Pennsylvania at UPenn? For 3 years, this guy was a very mediocre swimmer as a male. So he decides to transition into a female, and senior year decides to break NCAA records. Of course, great patriots like Riley Gaines and others have spoken out about this. But you know what? If you do, you're a transphobe. You're bigoted. you're a homophobe, you're intolerant. No, I believe in the sanctity of records. I believe in the sanctity of sports. Boys play with boys, girls play with girls. Okay? I'm just waiting for the day that a transgender guy joins the WNBA. Oh, I'm waiting for that day because that's when you're going to see the shit hit the fan, folks. Because then the one sports league that no one cares about, okay, other than Caitlin Clark playing in a game, otherwise, why would you want to watch the WNBA? Really? Folks, I'm waiting for that day to happen. But we're already seeing it. We're seeing it in our high schools across the country. We're seeing it in the Olympics, right? Really? We want to keep coddling this agenda about having biological boys play with girls and someone that's acceptable. But when conservatives like myself or members of the Republican Party or the Republican candidate for president wants to either ban that, they're somehow viewed as intolerant because the opposing party can't tell you what a woman is. We had a woman being vetted for the United States Supreme Court whose open words were like, well, I'm not a biologist, so I can't answer that question about what is a woman. Folks, it's very interesting. The Democrat Party is the party that can't tell you what a woman is, but somehow it's the same party that can tell you that men menstruate. Makes you wonder, right? Then, of course, as we continue on with the rest of the year, then we have on November the 5th, Transparent Day, okay, which is kind of interesting. Isn't that really, we have to start like breaking it down even more? Then November 13th to the 19th is Transgender Awareness Week. We already have Transgender Awareness Month. We already have international, what is this? In March, Transgender Day of Visibility. What is the difference with a day of visibility to a day to awareness? Like, why the overkill? And then last but not least, thankfully, November 20th is Transgender Day of Remembrance. And of course, that isn't even a complete list, folks, because you're not even factoring in the designated days by the United Nations and other institutions and authorities worldwide that coddle this nonsense. Folks, I don't know about you, I'm tired of it. It doesn't make me intolerant. It doesn't make me bigoted. It doesn't make me a homophobe or a transphobe. I can believe in equality and I can believe in inclusivity without having it shoved down my throat. Folks, 145 days, that's not even a bit much. That is insanely overwhelming. But again, folks, that's what happens when you go woke. You start accepting this nonsense and acquiescing to a community that, let's be honest, when there are flags being raised and there are international days or national days of remembrance or all these celebrations, sorry, you're not oppressed anymore. You're actually being celebrated. So please stop with the nonsense. We don't need it anymore. But back to the task force here. Hey, whoever's looking to join it, hey, be my guest. It might be interesting. But I'm certainly not someone that'll be looking to join that task force anytime soon. I have better things to do with my time, and I'll continue doing them. And that's what I'm thinking about right now. Now, some local stories for your consideration. Once again, thank you to John R. Hines, the editor of the Hudson County View, for his reporting on this story. Well, apparently, with Ravi Bala eyeing an assembly seat in 2025, it appears to be that a member of the Lollipop Guild and the Hoboken City Council, Emily Jabor, will be declaring her candidacy to be the next mayor of the Mile Square City. Now, once again, with Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala looking to land a seat in 2025, Councilwoman at Large Emily Jabor is ready to announce a mayoral run. According to an email released earlier in the week, Ravi Bala said, please join me on Wednesday, October the 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the beautiful Antique Loft on 33 Newark Street in the penthouse level for a sunset reception overlooking Hoboken. For the past 7 years, I've dedicated myself to public service on the city council, which has really done nothing for Hoboken other than making it worse. In Hoboken, obviously, these were her words in an email blast earlier in the week. Emily, the prom queen, Emily Jabor, went on to say, quote, I'm proud to have a reputation for getting things done. How? What? Worrying more about pronouns and property taxes in Hoboken, Emily? I mean, that's all you've worried about. Or making sure that we have drag queen story time at the Hoboken Public Library? Or that, I don't know, we make sure that we paint the crosswalks with rainbow colors every June? Are these the things that matter to everyday Hoboken residents, right? When parking is still a mess, property taxes are on the rise, development is pushing lifelong Hoboken residents out. Like, tell me exactly what it is you've done to commit yourself to helping Hoboken residents, because I have yet to find it. Okay? Now I'm excited for new opportunities ahead, and I need your support to be ready to take those new opportunities head on. While Jabor can I immediately be reached for additional comment, the email, which she posted a version of it on her Instagram and Facebook, seems to speak for itself, especially when considering that Bala has already put his stamp of approval on the event. Mayor Bala went on to say, quote, I'm proud to support at Hoboken Emily, one of my trusted partners in government, at her upcoming fundraiser. From her advocacy on safe streets, really? Have we seen homeless people be a danger to Hoboken residents? Have we seen incidents of crime on the rise in Hoboken? Yeah, I have. Top-notch constituent services, which is complete nonsense. Support for local groups, of course, when it suits her. And more, she's always been there for Hoboken. Bala has been linked to the state assembly run in the 32nd legislative district since August, when the New Jersey Globe reported that incumbent John Allen, thank the Lord, a former chief of staff to Bala, was not expected to seek a second term. Good riddance to John Allen, folks. You want to talk about someone who lives to pander and is someone that is just a waste of clothes. That's John Allen. Now, of course, it's no different because who's looking to succeed him is also another waste of clothes, and that's Ravi Bala. In the sense today, the Hoboken mayor, currently in his second term, is committed to running for Allen's seat on the ticket of Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop as a part of his bid to be the Democrat nominee for governor in 2025. In that scenario, he would run alongside Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez, who was one of the four incumbents, including Allen, who committed to running on Fulop's slate in the June 3rd, 2025 primary, which is nearly a year in advance of that race. Meanwhile, the nonpartisan Hoboken mayoral race isn't until November 4th, 2025. And if Jabor, who ran on Bala's ticket in 2017 and 2021, indeed announces her candidacy, well, she'd be the first official candidate in the field. Third Ward Councilman Mike Russo, which I don't know what the hell he's waiting for, is all but certain to enter the mix eventually with Second Ward Councilwoman Tiffany Fisher and local resident TDS, exhibitor there, Tiffany Fisher. And of course, Fourth Ward Councilman Ruben Ramos also is considering entering the mayor's race. Folks, I gotta tell you, Emily Jabor is also a waste of clothes. This is a woman who is part of the Lollipop Guild along with Uncle Phil Cohen, as well as certainly Joe Quintero, who I wouldn't trust to represent me in a traffic stop, much less run a hot dog stand. But I guess, folks, it's pretty easy to get a law degree these days when people like Joe Quintero and Ravi Bala have them. But in any event, folks, Emily Jabor, the prom queen herself, is looking to be the first declared candidate for mayor. Emily, I don't know about you, but take this run seriously. It's not about pronouns, it's about property taxes. It's not about being woke, it's why Hoboken residents are going broke. These are the real issues that affect everyday Hoboken residents in the Mile Square City. I would suggest you get to work and figure out what exactly is affecting Hoboken residents. It's not your virtue signaling or your fixation on identity nonsense. No, it's real-world issues. It's about fixing the parking problem in Hoboken. It's making sure the developers don't have their way and push lifelong residents out of Hoboken. These are real-world issues. This is what matters, not identity nonsense, which you and the rest of the Lollipop Guild live on every single day. Moving to Jersey City now, and once again, thank you to the Hudson County View and its editor, John Hines, for his reporting on this very important story. Now, New Jersey University and Mercer County Community College have signed an MOU to establish a transfer deal. Now, they've signed a memorandum of understanding to establish a transfer agreement for students between both institutions. As we all know, NJCU has thrived under the leadership of its interim president, Andres Acebo. Now, why the Board of Trustees have not taken off that interim title and made him the permanent president remains to be seen. But shout out to Andres Acebo for his outstanding work because he's helped create a better environment, both fiscally and really academically, at New Jersey University. Now, according to Interim President Andres Acebo in a statement this week, quote, NJCU continues to develop pathways with like-minded institutions to ensure our state students have an expeditious process to fulfill their academic promise without the burdensome obstacles that some students have historically and equitably faced. This collaboration reflects our shared commitment to academic excellence and ensures that students can pursue their educational goals with greater flexibility and support, while the MCCC and NJCU transfer program also strengthens the ties between our institutions and at the same time it embodies our dedication to student success and academic collaboration. Once again, another check on the resume of Interim President Andres Acebo. What Andres has done, ladies and gentlemen, in helping bring NJCU out of a fiscal rut, which was, again, left behind by his predecessor, which, by the way, was never scrutinized by the Lollipop Guild at the Jersey Journal. You know what I'm talking about, right? Ron Zettlinger, Joshua Rosario, right? Like the rest of the Lollipop Guild journalists there that never really took Andres' predecessor to task, but seems to love roasting Andres at every single turn. But shout out to Andres in helping to get this done. Another very reputable institution of learning in New Jersey is partnering with NJCU, and that's a good thing for our students and certainly for faculty members that get to collaborate with members at Mercer County Community College. So once again, I just got to give a clap there to Andres Acebo. Keep up the good work, young man. You are just a credit to your profession, and you continue to remind us all why Hispanics lead the way in academics and many other institutions in our great state. Lastly, folks, it's still Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as a reminder, coming up on Saturday night, October the 19th, at the world-famous Ventanas at the Modern, located at 200 Park Avenue in Fort Lee, New Jersey, will be the 2024 edition of A Professor's Quest to Safe Breasts. Since 2008, this event has raised over $63,000 to benefit the American Cancer Society and the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer campaign. I've been proud to partner with them for the last 16 years, so I look forward to seeing you coming up on Saturday night, October the 19th. We are asking for a suggested donation of $20 upon arriving. Please bring cash. Obviously, there'll be great raffle prizes from outstanding restaurants in the area, which include La Sorrentina in North Bergen, Trattoria Napoli in Union City, Rumba Cubana in Guttenberg, as well as Blue in the Hudson in Weehawken, and other great prizes, including a shooting range in Woodland Park, known as Gun for Hire, a great spa in Edgewater, known as Hand and Stone, as well as other great local businesses, which include as well as 48th Street Jiu-Jitsu, my local jiu-jitsu studio. And folks, without a question, these prizes are going to get a serious crowd this Saturday night. So please bring cash to the event. No Venmo, no Cash Apps, no Zells, please, folks. It's important. Please bring cash for the raffles. You'll enjoy it. We'll have a nice pink menu with very affordable drinks and appetizers there for consumption. Again, folks, it is a cash bar and cash dinner throughout the evening. We'll be starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and going until 2 a.m. at Ventanas at the Modern. All proceeds benefit the American Cancer Society and Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. So, folks, let's do our part this Saturday night, October the 19th. Once again, at the world-famous Ventanas located at 200 Park Avenue in Fort Lee. Folks, easily accessible for all my friends across the river in New York, right by the George Washington Bridge. Also, nearby routes 46, Garden State Parkway, and the New Jersey Turnpike are right by Ventanas. There is also valet parking available, but there is street parking as well as a paid parking deck, which is very affordable, right across the street. So I look forward to seeing you on Saturday night, October the 19th, and together we'll defeat breast cancer once and for all. And that's our show for this week. Once again, to check out all the excellent programming brought to you by the leader in independent media right here in Hudson County, the Hudson Media Group, please check out their YouTube page and also make sure you like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram and Twitter. I can't say enough, folks, what a privilege it is to be a part of the Hudson Media Group and all the great content you see here every single week, which includes Hudson County Live with John Highness, Stick at Night with Hudson County Commissioner Anthony Romano, and many, many more insightful programs brought to you by the Hudson Media Group. Of course, make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Of course, check out Talking Politics on Facebook as well. And folks, always remember, it's unbiased, unfiltered, and unafraid. It's always Talking Politics right here with the Hudson Media Group. I am New Jersey's premier and now 10-time award-winning journalist. Top Latino is voted on by the Latino Spirit Online magazine, along with the United States Latino Affairs Initiative. And certainly I'll continue to be the weapon of mass disruption in Garden State media, because my level of honesty, folks, now more than ever, we really need it, is truly necessary in this era of journalistic deception. That's right, folks. It's me, the generational talent here in Hudson County media. And of course, folks, the future of all media in New Jersey, because guess what? You can't spell future without the letters FU. And guess what? You can't spell Fernando Uribe either. See you next week, folks, here. Enjoy the rest of your week. Please party responsibly, and we'll see you next time here on Talking Politics with Fernando Uribe via the Hudson Media Group. And always remember, stay classy, everyone.